Hi, I'm Pat Sloan, and this is my neighborhood, my quilting neighborhood. I'm so glad you're here. This is my fireside chat on Monday night, and I am super excited as always. I'm super excited to do this with you. It just seems like I never have enough time for it. Like I could probably just talk to you all night. Like you could come over and we'd have snacks. But no, we got to set time. So I have the things I've been working on. I wanted to show you one of the tips that I showed you earlier. I want to actually do that tip here today. And I had a few things come in. I actually had a lot of things come in, so I'm only going to be able to show part of them because there's just so much stuff, so much cute stuff. And I want to show you a few patterns that one of my friends sent, and that'll be right at the end. And you know what happens right at the end, so you got to be sure you watch the whole thing. And if you have friends that quilt that are not part of my quilting community, I hope if you're on Facebook to share this video over to them. If you're in a guild, tell them to join. I mean, the more the merrier. We have lots of stuff going on, lots of fun stuff. So we are going to start with the snack chat. So I have gotten popcorn. Yes. So particular popcorn for today. This is the Angie's popcorn. I got the one that's the sweet and salty. I think I've been getting these popcorn, this Angie's popcorn, for a few years now. I discovered it when somebody gave me some at Christmas, where they actually have around Christmas time. Maybe they have them all the time, but that's when I first saw it. They drizzle chocolate on the popcorn. I thought that sounded gross, but it was a small bag, so we opened it and tried it, and it was pretty good because it was not covered in chocolate. It's just drizzled, so just enough. And I like sweet stuff. Yeah. So this is the sweet and the salty. Now I have to tell you, when I worked, I'll put this over here. When I worked in an office, popcorn was the thing. Like if somebody made popcorn in the office, popcorn maker, I mean, you would smell it, right? Everywhere you can smell. I mean, people would just come and wander down your aisle sort of looking for the popcorn so they could have some. I had a boss that he would, if we made popcorn, he would show up if he was around. And he told us one time that he is sure heaven smells like popcorn. So because he was the boss, we always let him have some popcorn. So the other thing I had to show you is what my neighbor made me. Look how gorgeous. It's a canning. Look how gorgeous this is. They have a cherry tree, and so she told me this is cherry jam. So I have not opened it yet, but that is next on my agenda, is cherry jam, to give that a try. It's so sweet. It's nice when your neighbors do those things and they make a lot, so they have to give some away. And then we, that didn't grow any vegetables, we get nice vegetables. She gave me some peppers too, so those look pretty nice. So we did a bunch of blocks this week. This is crazy block year for me. You all, what did you do to me? Everybody's like, yes, we'll just sew all these things with you. And so now we're sewing like 800 sew-alongs. I'm sure it's 800. It was at least 5, and it's a lot. And they'll all kind of end in October, if not a little sooner, some of them. And then we'll go back to like a normal sew-along pace of probably like 3 things. I think, like 3 things going on at once is pretty good. Then with some little short stuff popping in and out, rather than 5 sort of long projects. So the first one I want to show you, if you didn't see it yet, is the Winter Wonderland, the wreath block. Now these are coming out. I'm showing you to do one every other week. It has a red border on it, and then there's actually sashing you should be making. Have I made mine? No, I have not made mine yet. I will. So that is the wreath. Then we also were doing Main Street, and Main Street, this is the one country store. I always forget the exact name. I think that's it. That's the fabric for that one. And then with the cheeky, there's this one. So I just love how these are turning out. And somebody saved me from doing the setting wrong. I forget which one of these had the sashing. I had it up on the wall, but I hadn't sewn it, and I had the sashing from the other one in it. So somebody saved my butt and pointed out that, look, that might not be what you want. You're so polite, all of you. Rather than, hey, ding dong, you've got the wrong sashing on there. So I got saved. Those I have to set. Now we have 3 more blocks for Main Street, and then we will take a little break because I have a lot of travel in September, and then we'll start up again with a new Wednesday Sew Along in October. It'll probably be 9 blocks, which will take us into the very beginning of December, and then we won't do any blocks in December and start again in January. That's kind of how I roll. It's either 2 or 3 a year, and then there's a break in between because, you know, I need to breathe, and sometimes I have other stuff that needs to be done. And that's the case. Also, listen, okay? So you're listening, Main Street. Okay, that's these, Main Street, right? The last block will be a different day. It's supposed to be the last Wednesday of this month, but I am teaching out of town, a full day class, and there's no way I can be available at all on that Wednesday. So I will push it to the Saturday after that. And I will write this on Wednesday, and I will tell you again and again and again and again, and I will write it on the project page, and you will forget, and some of you will remember, and then the ones who forgot or never heard, you will tell them. But right? Okay? Pinky swear. You gotta help me out, girls and guys. Everybody's gotta help me out, quilters. You gotta help each other. But that last Wednesday of the month, I am not available. I am in the last day of teaching at the Baby Lock event, and it's an all-day thing, and I will not be able to be online really at all to help out or check things out. So I'll move it to when I get home, and I'll do it on the Saturday. Okay? So you got that? What was that? That seemed like that was 2. We did Out of This World already. That's 3. This is number 4. So I told you there's 5. There's 5 major sew-alongs. So number 4, and this is weekly. Main Street is weekly, and Witches Night Out is weekly. Now the books are sold out, but they're coming back in. So just hang on. If you didn't get a book yet and you want to sew, there's plenty of time. You have plenty of time. This is just August. So you'll be able to catch up, or just start when you get your book to start. But as soon as the books come in, I will let you know. So we have the next block. The block this week, let me show you the block this week, were the, they were the Starlight. So I did this is the Starlight block. That's this week's block. And I did a little hack, I guess you would call it, where I said, like, if you don't want to do, I showed you a picture, if you don't want to do the middle part of these stars, it still looks super cute, right? Yeah, so you can just do the outer points and leave the inside ones out if you're feeling like that's more than you want to do. I think you have to make 3 of these. Remember, the alternate colors that I'm doing here, I'm only doing 1. Because I've already made them all for the bigger one. Next week is not a pumpkin. Remember, we're doing some pumpkins, not a pumpkin. And so next week is the Cat on the Broom. If you do not buy this book for this pattern and the witch's hat, I don't know why you haven't gotten it yet. This is the cutest thing ever. You can make this a table runner, or you can make it like, if you make your own pillow forms, you can make it a pillow, put it on the couch. You could just have it above a door. Wouldn't that look cute? Well, now you can't see it, can you? That wasn't too smart of me. Disappears. So you could put it on top over a doorway, just put a little border around it. So this is what you'll sew this week, and we sew these on Thursday, and the Witches Night Out is on Thursday. So I also was getting a little bored of the selection of fabric. So I added in, I showed you that on my site, I added in from my scraps this fabric for the stars, which is just a little bit more of a print on the gray than the basic bundle, because the basic bundle was a starter anyways. It didn't have everything you needed. And then I bought this. What are these called? Are these the houndstooth? I can't remember. I think that's a houndstooth. I bought that because I'm going to use this in the cauldron and in part of the cat. I'm not sure what part. I have to look. So those are the Witches Night Out. It's really a darling book, and Here, I forgot to show you. If you, where is that picture? Sorry, okay. If you don't want to do the whole big quilt, you know, there's a table runner. And so the table runner uses a bunch of the different pumpkins, or you could do something like just the cat for a table runner, or I think the witch's hat. I mean, I would do like 4 witches' hats. I would do 9 or 12, and they were super easy. You could bust out your black and white stash and then add in purple and orange bands and just do a witch's hat quilt. I think that'd be super cute. I need more time in the day. Thank you very much. Just order that up for me. Is it like takeout? I just need more time in the day. All right. Do you say that too? Need more time in the day. So, oh goodness. I forgot to bring something down with me. Okay. Well, when the time comes and I just realized I don't have that, then I will punt. All of a sudden my brain just went, uh-oh, you didn't bring that down. Okay, one more, the sew along, current sew alongs. Just lost my, there we go. So the beginner quilt to sew along. So if you have been, you know, wanting to quilt, maybe you're new to quilting, or you know somebody new to quilting, or you just, you know, totally feel like you have some skills that are missing. Maybe if you're self-taught a lot, and okay, honestly, okay, let's talk about self-taught. We are all self-taught. There's really very few people who go to university to learn to quilt. There are beginner classes, and basically that's just a kickoff. All that does is give you the very basics. Like I did a beginner's quilting class. It's one of the very few things I learned in a classroom environment. Most of the crafting have done, I've taught myself. Quilting, I happened to take a 12-week lesson, but that did not teach me very much, even though it sounds like a lot. So when everybody says, oh, I'm self-taught, you are all self-taught. Everybody around you is self-taught at some point. So, but what that means, too, is that sometimes when we're self-taught, we're missing things. Like you may have just been like, hey, I'm gonna make this quilt. I see it on YouTube, it's cute, I get some fabric, I know how to sew seams, I know how to sew straight on, I sew it up, that's great. But then you see something else that's a little bit different, and it has a pattern, and it doesn't have a video. So you might not know how to read a pattern. And so that kind of stops you in your tracks a little bit, because all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't know what that means. You know, so this is what the Ultimate Beginner Quilt Along is all about, because you get a pattern which you can then read and watch the video, so you can like relate to that. And I actually learn much better by reading. There's hardly anything that I like to learn better on a video than on reading. Reading is my preferred way of learning, with photos and diagrams. There are certain things that's a little easier on a video, but most things no. I like to do everything by reading. But some people like to watch the video, but you sometimes don't have a video, or you often, let's put it that way, you often do not have a video for a quilt pattern. Most patterns are written, so you need to know how to read patterns. So this Ultimate Quilt Along is going to teach you that, because you're going to be able to have both and learn how to look at a pattern and see what's going on. You can also use my beginner book, and then that way you get even more, because the beginner book, my book, has photos and the patterns. Not these patterns, obviously, but they're similar. You know, they're very basic patterns. So that is what you should join, I think. Even if you have done some quilting and some sewing, join in, because it's simple, it's fun, it's not going to take a lot of time. You get a lot of camaraderie with my whole group making things. By the way, remember to share your blocks. This week I didn't see a lot of blocks, and this was a very, very easy one to do. So you either weren't wanting to share it, or you didn't get to it this week, so you still have time. These come out on Thursday. So let me show you the first week. I am using Bonnie Lane, my fabric, Bonnie Lane. So there it is. So I have where is it? I took the supply list for the solids, and I taped all of my fabrics down like that. so that you can, so I can just go, and when the pattern says use a yellow, use that peach, then I just know which to use in my pile. I don't have to think about it because I don't want to think about it. What I want to do is concentrate on the techniques and not concentrate on fabric picking for this project. So if you want to do that, these solids are the way to go. Here's the solid one. And you can get the kit. So if you prefer like to work with a kit, see, there's the solids. And I have never done an all solid quilt, so I'm like, now I will. I will have one. So I'm pretty excited about that. And it also totally, you just follow exactly the pattern. There is nothing that deviates. So that's super easy for you. Then I decided, my friend Christopher Thompson of the Tattoo Quilter, he sent me his bundle of his newest fabric, something borrowed. And it's so pretty, and it's a very limited color palette. By that I mean it's basically navy, gray, and cream, you know, or off-white. So that's it. It's very limited. And that means it's a little easier to mix and match. You don't have to worry so much. So for this one, I did not do a color layout. I have a whole fat quarter bundle, which is more than I need. So I'm just picking what I like each week and doing this one. And this is weekly. So if you are still thinking you want to join in, we just started. Kimberly Jolly of the Fat Quarter Shop, my buddy Kimberly, is doing a video every week, which I then put into my post so that you can just stay right there. You can read it, you can download the pattern, and then I'm doing some tips. So I want to show you one of my tips that I had on the post this week in pictures, but I want to show you it in action. So let's come down here, and I will cut a strip. So what I was showing you was that if you're cutting a strip, let me just first just cut a piece off of here for the demo, and I will get a little bit closer. So come in here. There we go. And I didn't press this or anything. So we're going to go like this. So I'm going to cut a 2.5 inch strip. So let's see. That is hard to see on the, oh, you can see it now. Yeah. So on the blue, I am doing a 2.5 inch strip, which is this line. So that's lined up, and then I'm going to be cutting away from here. And I have my Olfa rotary cutter. I just opened it like this. This is an automatic, open, close, open, close, open, close. So that's what you should be doing. I will go and do the strip. Now it's the sub cutting that my tip comes in. So that if I want to sub cut this, pull it down here. And sub cutting means I'm going to go the length of it, and I want to make a certain size. So let's say I want to do a 6.5 inch strip. So that's from here to here. That's, whoops, let me do this. Let's see if I can get you in just a little closer. There we go. All right, so from here to here is 6.5. That means I need to trim this end off at 6.5, and it's already 2.5 because that's what I trimmed. What most people do is they just line the edge up of the top. But I feel like I have tons more control if I shift up to a solid line. So I've got the entire piece under the ruler versus having to be sure it's lined up on that edge. I feel like I have so much more control. So this is my 6.5, and then I would subcut, and now underneath I have a 6.5 inch strip, and this is my Bonnie Lane fabric, and that is the tip that I gave you this week on the Ultimate Beginners Quilt Along on the actual post. So I did that with a photo. I have 2 photos and show you, but if you like to see that in action, that's what it looks like. So if you are new here, like to my videos, and I do these on Monday, and if you would go down here to, if you're on YouTube, come and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, I have the text below. Go over and subscribe at YouTube, because you can subscribe and look for the little bell. Right next to the word subscribe, there's a bell. And if you click it, you'll get notifications when there's new videos. Some people tell me they don't see the bell. That's usually because you're not on a browser, meaning you're not on a desktop or on your tablet via the website. You're using an app. So if you're using an app, search around. There are all kinds of variations of apps depending on what your device is. So I can't tell you where it is, but it's there because YouTube wants you to be able to find that. They're not hiding it. So look for the bell. Or call a friend who's a little more tech savvy maybe, and have them help you find it. So it's there. Okay, I have a few things I want to tell you that are coming up. So you subscribed, yes, and thank you for using all my links when you do your purchases, because that helps my small family business. It does not cost you a thing more when you use my links, and often I'm linking to something that's on sale, so you get a better deal because I'm finding the deals for you. So hopefully, but I thank you for doing that. All right, let's see this. Yes, I know I am late. Everybody's gotten everybody that subscribes has already gotten their fat quarter box sampler and opened it, but I always wait and do it here, and so we can see it together. I have these new Olfa, they're called they're little knives, like they're X-Acto knives, but they're cute and they're metal, so they actually stick on my office assistant. I can put them on there. So I can take this and open it. Here, let's take a look. So I got that open. And the sampler boxes, the Fat Quarter Shop, they're a subscription, and in them the value is incredible, because not only do you get all these great things to try. Oh, I have more on the side. Did I not get one? Did I miss one? Okay. So you not only get these really great things, but you also get a coupon every month for something. And there's always a theme. So what's the theme this month? Stitch by stitch. I tell you, I never look. No, I don't. I promise. Okay, so here we go. Oh, you're gonna get a coupon to get Notions by Annie off and Fat Quarter bundles off. I can't give you the code, but that's what it'll be for. So what do we have in here? Oh, super cute. All right. See if we can get both of us in his picture. I'll scoot down. No, not. That's dumb. Okay, so this is for the handles, right? So I'm traveling, so I'm going to be putting that on for my handles. Yes, Alpha Endurance blades. These are the longer lasting blades. You can never, this is like worth the box to get your blades and not have to remember to go order them. It feels like a present. All right, so because the Annie's products are on sale, we did get a zipper, and usually what happens is they've given you several items that all can be used in a project. So I'm wondering, because they give you an exclusive project for the box, so I wonder what the project is. That you get a little pattern and a little booklet that tells you everything about what's in your box. Here's a zipper pull, so it must be to do a double zipper pull, which I've never put a double zipper pull on. And so pretty. This is Melly's fabric, and I showed you that fabric the other week with the, okay, let's look at this. So here's the stitch fabric. Okay, can you see? Okay, here's the stitch fabric, and then the sewing machines, they're super cute on blue, and then two florals. There, you can see that floral. And the pattern is to do little bags. So if you only get this pattern with the subscription, but often now they're doing kits afterwards. So after the subscription, because I'm going to go look online, because I didn't look in advance to see what's out there, but I will look and see if they've put any kits out there for these and these, because they might have, and I'll link you up to them. So that's a super fun box. I like it. Fabric's really pretty, and this is very useful. And I will be, what's it say? Sew on the go. Got a little sewing machine. That is great. Great, great, great. Okay, the other thing I have in that I just have to show you because it's amazing. Last year, one of the Christmas lines was called Swell. And this is the layer cake. And I just fell in love with this, and I didn't get a chance to do anything with it last year. And then they came out with it again this year. The same line, they reprinted it. I'm so happy because I want to do a project from the Perfect 10 book. And I think I earmarked it here. Yes, this is what I'm going to be doing is the French, I gotta cover up the directions, French vanilla. So that, because I want to show off all this cute fabric. Here's some of it. I got some extra pieces. Look at the poinsettias. I'm gonna do a border. I may have to get some more for a backing, but this I really want to do. So am I going to be able to do it right now? I wish I could. Right now is a little impossible because I have a lot of things I have to get done because I'll be going to St. Louis to teach for the baby lock dealers, and then we'll come back and I have family coming in, and then we'll leave on a trip to teach in Tennessee, then we'll come back and we'll leave on another trip. After that, I will be working on Swell. So I'm very excited. And I had to get a pair of socks. I just had to get these socks. Look at them. These have the octopus on them. So cute. So I needed these. So I will link you up to all the cute. There's a bunch of cute socks. Do you wear cute socks? Do you like that? I like it. My mom often sends me cute socks. I'm always like, Mom, that's awesome. She finds cute socks and sends them. Oh, let me put this X-Acto knife down here so I don't lose it. Okay. So when I'm going on, so first there was a question out I did in my newsletter, which I'll link you to. So if you didn't get my newsletter Sunday afternoon, I will link you to that. But I had a thought because there was somebody in the group, I think her name is Linda, who said, you know, what kind of quilt would you make if nobody told you it was hard? And that made me think in the more expanded version of that question, you know, what would you do if you didn't know it was hard? Like, you know, I asked you that, and I asked in my newsletter, you know, it's like, oftentimes we're told, like we have an idea, we want to do something, and then somebody will say to us, oh, that's so hard, you know, that'll be too hard to do, or, you know, I could never do that, that's so hard. And then what that does is that like gets into our psyche often and will cause us to back down from that idea or that project or that dream even, to not do it. I know when I wanted to start my business, I didn't tell hardly anybody because I didn't want to hear that from anybody, because I know I was going to do it, and I just didn't want any seeds of doubt. I mean, I already had enough doubt. I was leaving a big corporate job, you know, to start a quilt business. And so I didn't need anybody else telling me that's going to be hard. So I just didn't tell anybody. But a lot of times, you know, you'll express a dream and somebody will say, oh, that's hard. Or like, let's go back to the quilt pattern. Somebody will say, oh, I want to make a double wedding ring. This is a classic one that people say, well, that's so hard. It's not hard. Everything is just patchwork. Everything is just seams. Everything can be done. Some of it is going to be simpler. Some of it is going to take you a little more time, and you might have to slow down, and you might have to learn. One of the things, somebody left a answer to me. She wrote me back from the newsletter last night that, you know, people told her to build their own home was hard, and there was always all these problems, and so they waited, and then they finally did some research, and they met builders they liked and decorators they liked, and they're in the process of building their house, and it's going smoothly, and they're very happy they're doing it, and they wondered why they didn't do it earlier. Because they had seeds of doubt. Those, you know. So I think that if you want to do something, whatever that something is, if it's the type of quilt, if it's you want to go back to college, if you want to go learn to blow glass, if you want to be a master gardener, you know, if you want to, you know, join some sort of group, do it. You'll learn lots. And it'll be fun, because if you have the desire, it always works out. You know, it's really, you need the desire first, and then it all falls together. So that is my talk about that part, because I don't want people to not do something because somebody else thinks it's hard. You don't think it's hard. You don't know yet. And when you start, it probably isn't. So, one more thing I have to show you because I want to be sure you get some. And then I have a question. So these are, they're also my friend Christopher's. He sent me the blue fabric for the Ultimate Beginner, and he sent me a bundle of his basics. Now these are on sale all of August. You really should just collect them. They are these tiny little, here I'll get that closer. See, they almost look like little bitty butterflies, the tiny little stylized, but they're all different colors. Like here is some that's got gold, like there's got gold on it, but then there's also shades, like, you know, there's peach, like here's peach and pink, you know, so then they have white on them. All of them have the white, the speckles are white, like here's the navy. So basically whatever kind of basic you need to work into your project, if you use it's called Blossoms, and if you use this, you get a little bit of extra texture. See that little bit of extra texture, which I just love. So like I'm doing his fabric for the border, for the sashing on his, using his fabric. I might go, he has a blue one. I think this is the blue one. So it's got the little blue speckles. I really like the one that's multi. There's the multicolored speckles. This is just, they just add that little bit of extra, and so your fabric is not solid, but it reads, you know, like more, it's smoother, you know, it doesn't have a whole lot of colors in it. So that is on sale through all of August. So you should, every time you place an order, you should pick some up. Okay, we have prizes, and that's where I messed up. So let me tell you one other thing first before I do that. Real quick. The Bonnie Lane, the Table Runner project, this is it. I have not started to make it yet, but I wanted to show you the fabrics really quick. So these are them. These two will be the background, and let me just put this down here. The background and then the binding. And so they're in combinations. Each of these blocks, I've got one block are these two fabrics, then one block will be these two, and there's a kit for this, so I will put it up there. Then one of the blocks will be these two Bonnie Lane fabrics, and then the fourth block will be these two. So I just wanted to show you what the actual block fabrics were that are in that kit, which will be easy to just, you know, make up. So you got the kit, you just can follow along. And we're going to be doing a bunch of Bonnie Lane sew-alongs in September, off and on, most heavily later in September because of all that crazy travel I have. But prior to that, we'll get going, and I'll get everything going. But you can get, there's two of the kits are ready already. And I'll link them to you. Okay, I'll link them. So I have a winner for last week, and that's the paper I forgot. I forgot to bring her name. So I will email you. I will go to my website. You have to do all this on my website. So this package of patterns and samplers go to, I forgot your name to say it here, but what the question last week was, what do you do when you need a break? And she was, I think her name, I don't think it's Linda, but I can't remember. But she said, like, when she needs a break, she might go watch YouTube channels, and definitely one of the things she likes to do is go make a smaller project. Like, if she needs a break, project's just not working out, she needs a break. So you go and do a smaller project, that you can finish. You can feel satisfaction, and I think that's such an excellent advice. Anytime you're stuck, put it down, go do something else. But if you want to do something creative, do something small, and then you will finish and get satisfaction that you completed it. You know, it's like when you're doing one of those hard projects, right? Okay, so then this week, and you're going to go to my website to answer this question, not here, wherever you're watching this. If you're watching this on my website, you're in the right place. So you have to answer the question. I think we'll talk about, let's see, I had a question written, but now I don't like that one, so I'm thinking a different question. So let me ask you, how do you sort your large, like floral fabrics. Like if you have a floral fabric that looks like this one, in, you know, like in the package here, like, you know, basically just tell me, rather than that specific scratch, tell me how you just sort your fabric. You know, do you like to put all the dots together and all the stripes together? Do you like to do it by all yellow fabrics and you figure out what's yellow? Do you keep like your Civil War fabric and your 30s fabrics and your children's fabric in separate places? Do you have just like a polka dot box? Do you have a scrap bin? Do you have a place just for fat quarters? You know, what do you do? So tell me a bit about how you store your fabric. So this week, somebody who answers that question will get this. And these patterns are from, there are 3 patterns from Snuggles Quilts, which are my friend Deanne Eisman's patterns. So these are 3 new ones that she's just come out this year. I totally, look at that. Look how cute that is with the little star in the middle. I don't know, I think that's piece. So all you piecers should be very, very happy. And then here's one with a little bit of applique, either without or with applique. Plus, I have this bundle. And it's some basic gray. It's not every piece in that line, but it's a good bit of it. It's quite a bit. And they're fat 8s. So tell me how you store your fabric over at my website. Okay? And then next week, on Monday, we'll have another Fireside Chat. And this week, remember to do your UFO. So on UFO Friday, you can say what you finished and then tell me what the next thing is you're going to work on. And join me at Facebook at my Quilt Along with Pat Sloan, and be sure you've signed up for my emails. Everything is here on the links. If you're on my page, if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook, they're all right here with the video. I'm Pat Sloan, and I will chat with you next week.